Hello students, today I am going to start with my last lecture of chapter digestive system. So far we have discussed completely about digestive organs, digestive glands and the process of digestion in detail. So today I am going to start with the next process, that is absorption. So before starting with the absorption, I am going to discuss the objective of today's topic. So the objectives of today's topic are, in today's lecture we will come to know about the process of absorption, how it occurs, how assimilation of food occurs, what is assimilation, we will study about enzymes and we will study about the characteristics of enzymes. So now children, let's start with absorption. Absorption is defined as a process of diffusion of digested food through the internal lining of alimentary canal into blood and lymph. Means when the food get digested completely, that digested food diffuses through the internal lining of alimentary canal into blood and lymph. Maximum absorption takes place through the lining of small intestine, as we have studied earlier, that till stomach the partial digestion of food occurs, in small intestine complete digestion of food occurs, and maximum absorption takes place through the lining of small intestine. The villi are present in the internal lining of small intestine, which increases the surface area for more absorption. This we have discussed in very detail earlier. Now children, in each villus there is a word villus. Villus is the singular of villi. In each villus there is a proper networking of blood capillaries are there, and an unbranched lymph vessel called lacteal is present. So now there is again a new term. What is lacteal? Lacteal is a lymphatic capillary that absorbs dietary fats in the villi of small intestine. So children, look here. This is this yellow colored portion in the villi. This is lacteal, which absorbs dietary fats in the villi of small intestine. This diagram shows the structure of single villus. Glucose, fructose, galactose, amino acids, minerals and vitamins from digested food diffuses through the internal lining of ileum. Ileum is the part of small intestine, into blood running through the capillary network of each villus. All the blood vessels that collect blood from alimentary canal, they join to form a hepatic portal vein. Now what is hepatic portal vein? Hepatic portal vein is a blood vessel that carries blood from gastrointestinal tract, gallbladder, pancreas and spleen to liver. Means a blood vessel which carries blood from all the gastrointestinal tract, all the parts of alimentary canal, gallbladder, pancreas, spleen, and finally supplies the blood to liver. Children, we will study hepatic portal system in detail in our higher classes. So next is hepatic portal vein carries blood along with the digested food to liver, and after the absorption of digested food, the remaining part of chyle in the form of liquid reaches to large intestine. So we have studied about chyle earlier in detail. So next is assimilation of food. So what is assimilation? The last process of nutrition is assimilation. We have discussed about ingestion, digestion, absorption, and the next is assimilation. The process of conversion of digested food into the living protoplasm of the cell is called assimilation. This is the define of assimilation. Digested food is supplied to every cell by the blood stream. Whatever the food get digested, gets applied to each and every cell of the body through blood. From the digested food which reaches to any cell, most of the glucose, which is the simplest form of food, is oxidized to release energy which is needed for various metabolic activities. And the remaining simpler forms of food, whatever the extra simpler form of food are left, they get converted into their complex form and they get stored inside the body for their further use. So now there is an extra topic in this chapter which is very important, that is, what are enzymes? Enzymes are the proteinaceous biocatalysts which enhances the chemical reaction taking place in the body of living organism without altering the end products. Means they act as they enhances the, we can say they facilitates, they enhances the chemical reaction, and they do not alters the end product. They do not cause any harm, any change in the end product. They just enhances the chemical reaction. They increases the speed of chemical reaction. Now their characteristics of enzymes are proteinaceous in nature. In their chemical nature, very first characteristics, question can be asked, what are the characteristics of enzymes? Second is, these are secreted and required in very small quantity. So they are not required in so many liters and so many kiloliters, they are required in a very minute quantity. These do not initiate the chemical reaction but accelerate, means speed ups the rate of reaction. Next is, enzymes are substrate specific. Now there is a new word, that is substrate specific. What is the meaning of substrate specific? Substrate specific means one type of enzyme can accelerate only one type of chemical reaction. Suppose if the enzyme is specific for the digestion of protein, so it will react with only proteins. It will not react with other carbohydrates and fats. Is it clear? Next is, all the enzymes are medium specific. Medium specific means every enzyme work in a specific medium. Means some enzymes they work only in acidic medium, some work only in alkaline medium, some work only in basic medium. So next, enzymes are thermolabile, means they are sensitive to temperature. They react according to the temperature. At proper temperature they will work properly. They have specific temperature at which they will start their working. Enzymes do not change the quality and quantity of the product. This I have told you earlier. There are about 1,000 types of enzymes in our body. These are of various categories like digestive enzymes, respiratory enzymes and synthesizing enzymes. So we'll talk about digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes are of three types: amylolytic, proteolytic and lipolytic. Amylolytic digest carbohydrates only. Proteolytic digest proteins only, and lipolytic digest fats only. So children, this was all about our chapter digestive system. We have done the full chapter in detail. So kindly do all the related question answers, mark them on the book and do all the reasoning questions, terms on copy. So children, read your chapter thoroughly and for today's lecture read page number 11.9 thoroughly, and there is a chart on page number 11.8, that is this chart, that is the summary of digestion of food in various parts of alimentary canal. This chart shows all the enzymes, their secretions, nutrients, and products of digestion. So you can learn them in this chart form also. So we will continue with the next chapter in our next lecture. Thank you so much.